Hello, in today's video I have an interesting gem on this channel, and it's one that I'm not a big fan of. However, this one managed to catch my attention and keep me engaged for a good while, which means if you're someone who loves these type of games then you've came to the right place. Today's gem will be Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. Let's talk about the gameplay. This game is an auto shooter in which you fight hordes of enemies with roguelike elements. You explore each cave with different objectives. For example, gathering minerals so you can return to the drill to continue your mission, or clear an area out by mining to drop down supplies with a powerful upgrade. Each cave has different minerals available for gathering to upgrade your character. Picking up blue orbs, for example, levels up your character from which the roguelike element kicks in. You can choose from three options, either having a new gun, changing the element of your abilities, or other upgrades for defense and utility. Every few levels your character gains two special choices for a character specific weapon or trait to modify your survival in the cave. One of the resources you'll be gathering is gold, which is very valuable to ensure you get a perfect run, which allows you to re-roll the perks you get. It is also used to buy simple upgrades in the shop to increase damage or luck, for example, to make sure that you actually have a good run to clear it all. You also gather this material called Nitra, which is a red crystal which is used to buy much better upgrades to max out your arsenal. Managing the resources is very crucial if you want to succeed in each mission. What I loved about this gameplay loop is the game always challenged you with managing the cave. Whenever you cave around, exposing too much tunnels will lead to being outnumbered later in the mission, but if you do it smartly enough you can control the horde for longer, giving you more breathing room. Strategic mining allows for healthy amounts of resources and escape routes whilst managing combat opportunities to level up. Managing both of these aspects by caving very strategically and managing the horde is a key skill you must learn in the higher difficulties, as the game will punish you if you don't do so. Furthermore, different caves offer different challenges by forcing the player to overcome different obstacles. For example, twines growing from the floor adding pressure for tunnel management, or lava pools that will hurt you but your enemies too, or in the salt mines in which a lot of rock is present and therefore mining is much more important, but you also have fragile stones to crush your enemies if there's an opportunity to do so. The salt mines have a new enemy that rolls around through rocks, creating tunnels. This leads to opportunities of ambush, forcing you to manage your caving much more better. In order to do this, however, you will need to choose from different classes, and a different class shines in different opportunities. For example, a miner can handle salt mines much more easier due to mining traits, but an engineer can control defense objectives better with turrets. A scout, on the other hand, investigates the caves much quicker for objectives and minerals with crowd control, and lastly gunner, wielding great firepower for bosses using a machine gun. All are great with ups and downs dependable on the cave type and their obstacles. My favorite was the engineer due to controlling large areas and tunnels with great firepower. This meant that being ambushed was much more less likely because I could cover all areas, and if I did screw up at one point, I could quickly cover it up with more firepower from my turrets. However, caving comes with a consequence of bosses. Bosses in these games are quite unique. Each cave has different bosses with their own unique combat approaches. The Dreadnought, for example, launches itself at you, cutting down the distances between you and him to ambush you. However, with good movement you can kite him around to avoid so. He also spits eggs to spawn enemies around you, or the Q-Ronar shellback that rolls around after you, which then he proceeds to spit toxic pools adding pressure when you're surrounded, trying to force you into his trap and his army. Or, my favorite, the Dreadnought twins, who share health, healing the other if in danger. A melee twin who has quick movement and launches at you, whilst the other fire twin who spits fireballs in an arc to burn you. They are both heavy hitters, and therefore these guys can quickly put you into danger if you don't have an escape route or open space to manage annoying smaller enemies trying to surround you. These bosses may seem easy, but handling all aspects of caving at once adds great pressure in the moment. when you suddenly realize that some enemies have made extra caves around you, opening more spaces to be ambushed, suddenly a simple boss turns into a little puzzle you have to solve on the way, ensuring that you won't get ambushed from anywhere whilst doing enough damage to beat the mission in time. After all of this brings me to the character progression. After your mining missions are over, the dwarves proceed to smash out some pints whilst you are going to upgrade their skills. All minerals are useful for upgrades to your performance in the caves. These upgrades affect all classes, which is very good, ranging from normal speed buffs for mining and movement to extra crit damage and luck for better runs. Additionally, a nice quality of life system is where you can buy other materials if you're missing them. You can buy them with coins or sell your currently not needed minerals to buy others that you need. This allows you to use your entire mineral stock rather than always being one short. Furthermore, there are challenges for each gun on which completing them strengthens the gun. There are multiple tests for each to gain a solid increase in damage to min-max. This may not seem important at first, but later that damage increase offers a solid head start in each mission if RNGesus isn't present, especially in the further difficulties where you need that extra damage in the beginning. With all of this combined, progression feels fair in comparison of time invested, with a fun mini game to boost your favorite weapons damage and using your excess amounts of materials for meaningful upgrades, resulting in a fun grind. With all this being said, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor is a solid auto-shooter roguelike to fight off hordes of bugs. Although this genre doesn't really interest me, it did hook me in for a good while and surprisingly I enjoyed my time. If you're someone who loves these games, then this offers a lot more engagement and management that will keep you on your toes, which is something that discouraged me, but this game really did show me that you can make it interesting, which is something that I wanted from this genre, and it works. Rock and stone, brother.